Yo, what up guys? This is the Crypto Homie back at you with another video. So today's topic is about Bitcoin versus the banks. I want to touch up on the 2008 financial crisis when they had this thing called bailouts. That was when companies got bailed out by private investors. Some of them were banks, some of them were car companies, etc. Essentially, they were picking the winners, picking the losers. I refer to this as a corrupt capitalism, not just allowing the losers to lose and then new people to win. So there's something else that's kind of similar to a bailout. It's called a bail-in. And in 2012 to 2013, the Republic of Cyprus did one of those. What's interesting is a bail-in is just essentially locking down all the bank accounts and then drawing funds from everybody's bank account to fund them. So instead of getting a private investor, you're now just taking money from the average person. So this really hurts the middle class because they save money for college, they save money for a house, save money for a wedding, save money for whatever they're saving it for. Now all of a sudden one day it's just not available. They just lost 10, 20, 30%. I mean, that's that's devastating. That's worse than inflation. I have I have two articles and some great information. So basically, here's what it looked like in Cyprus. All insured deposits up to 100 euros as of the 26th of March 2013 have been transferred to this bank called Lakai Bank to the Bank of Cyprus. In addition, the entire amounts of deposits belonging to financial institutions, the government, municipalities, municipal councils, and other public entities, insured companies, charities, schools, educational institutions, and deposits belonging to the JCC payment system have been transferred to the Bank of Cyprus. So the Laki Bank, they have pretty good interest rates, so that's why people use them, but now everything got transferred to the Bank of Cyprus. So people don't really have control of their money. And then here, just all of the deposits exceeding the 100 euros remain in the bad Laki Bank. So did you get that? Financial institutions get full repayment along with government entities while everyone else gets to eat sand. If you were robbing a bank, would you take only a little of the money in the vault? No, you would probably take it all. The bankers see it the same way when they rob you. Once they have performed the initial crime of sticking the losses with the non-crony creditors, while the cronies get out scot-free, you might as well keep going. So this just goes on, and it's just basically sad how they just took money from their own citizens. They also had, I was reading that they had private investors from Russia they took money from, which then it was just saying that was illegal. But I mean, banks perform all this illegal activity all the time. The fines always are never as much as the crimes. So if they make $10 billion off a crime, the fine might only be $2 billion. So they just profited $8 billion. So they're like, let's go do it again. Because we're still going to make money. We're still going to make it. It doesn't matter. They still make money at the end of the day. You see all these big fines. It doesn't matter. It is such a small amount compared to what they're making. But I want to point something out. So it was on the 25th of March, 2013. So let's just go to the Bitcoin chart. So people, all of a sudden you can't withdraw money out of the ATM, you can't go to the bank and withdraw money. So what do people do when they eventually could withdraw money? So let's find March 25th, 2013. Just passed it. It's right here. Look at that. What happened? What happened from just 1 month later? So this is March 25th, and then here is April 25th. Bitcoin made at that time an all-time high, spiking up to 260, 270. Came back down, consolidated around 150. But on March 25th, it was March 25th, it was $73. And it went all the way up to $270. It seems like people realized they need to put their money into something that they can control. So like I said in the beginning of the video, banks versus Bitcoin. When you have money in a bank, you don't control it. When you have money at home, you're a loser because you're losing money off inflation. When you have money in Bitcoin and you control the keys, you control the wallet, it cannot be taken away. You control it. It's just like in 1931 or 1933, when gold bullion became illegal. You were a criminal if you had gold, which most people are not aware of that. You were a criminal if you had gold from the early 1930s to 1971. 1971 is when Nixon took us off the gold standard, which then essentially gave permission for the average person to buy gold. And then that's how it rose in value, because now it can actually have a real price. The market, the free market, can find a price for it. When it was controlled to back the dollar, the whole point of confiscating all the gold and not allowing a private person to own it was so the dollar's value would not fluctuate. Ever since we took it off the gold standard, it has fluctuated one way only, and that is it's less value, it's going down. But I just wanted to show this was interesting, like just because you can always just think, so from the 2008 financial crisis, did we learn our lesson in America? Did we what's going on? It doesn't seem, we keep getting more debt. So what happened? What if this would happen in America? Imagine, you have a little bit of savings, you have a little bit in a retirement account, a little bit in your checking account. All of a sudden, they shave off, let's just say 10%. 10% of your money just gone because it's your patriotic duty to do this, to fund the debts of America. How would you feel about that? You go to work, you work hard, you pay taxes, you pay income tax, you pay Social Security, you pay taxes when you go to buy something. So you're taxed left, right, everywhere, and now they want another 10%. I can only imagine how frustrated many people would be. And I would only imagine the chart of Bitcoin once everybody gets access to their money. Because so if they take 10%, and now let's say 2 days later, you have access to 90% of your money. Are you going to trust a bank? Are you going to want your money in there? Because if they did it once, they can do it twice. So that sounds like a bad idea. You want to put it into something that has value: gold, silver, Bitcoin, anything that actually has. I mean, if you have a bunch of money, art, there's expensive art, diamonds, stuff like that. You'd want to put it in something that's actually valuable. So that was pretty interesting. There's an article about this. The Greeks are suing Cyprus for lost millions of banks, the bail-ins. I just wanted to go over this little thing. It says, the reason this was done the way it was done was to shift the burden away from Cypriotics in the Cypriotic state, so the country of Cyprus, onto the foreigners, which is illegal under international law. So this is very interesting. They were essentially just trying to take their financial mistakes and throw it on other people. And unfortunately, I see this kind of happening in America. I mean, we are going into debt and debt and debt and debt. And I mean, when are we going to be responsible for it? When are we going to take our responsibility for this? Like, they printed how much money just this year? How much more are they going to print this year? We just don't know. So I'm going to end this video with, what would you do if there was a bail-in in America? They shaved 10%. I mean, what if they shaved 30%? What would you do? If you could let me know what you do in the comments below. Well, guys, the Crypto Homie signing out. Take it easy.